Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're well. Welcome back to Season 59, Book of the Vishanti's Alliance War Push. We're here in War 4. We're 2-1 on the season. Today we're taking on Xk+9, and since it's highlights, you know this fight's here for a reason. Negasonic versus Attuma should be straightforward. Well, while proper preparation does indeed prevent poor performance, sometimes mistakes happen. We're so caught up on the rage node that we forget that when he hits my block, he's gonna gain power. I haven't caught that yet. But you know, when mistakes happen, it's not just that they happen, it's how you recover. It's what you do. So here we go, it's about to kick off. I noticed right there, he almost hits 3 bars. I'm praying no crit, but of course, big fat crit right at the end of the special 2. And now, we're 30 seconds into this fight. He's only 1/3 down, and I'm almost dead. So, he's now also Incinerate immune, so I'm regathering myself at this point in time. Just figuring out, how am I going to get out of this fight? Which really comes down to, well, I guess I'm going to beat him down with basics. And that's what we're going to do. Got to make sure I hit my dexes. Got to be smart about where I use my blocks. The whole thing. Not remembering all of the nodes in play. There I'm staying back. Making sure that I wait out his power gain on my block. Now we're getting our Incinerates back up. Trying to get this fight back under control. Again, no panic. Try to be cool, try to be smooth, try to regain control. I used to run a little video series called Who Needs Health Anyway? Back in the old days. That was when I was using Sentinel to take down Thanos bosses in map 5. But you go in with 5%, you go get the solo. It's war, but it's no different. We lock in, we're getting close to the end. Now I want to switch to bait and special 1s because I just want to wrap this fight up. Don't want to messing up a special 2 again. And thankfully, praise the Lord, this man is down. Let's go. We saved it. 1 death so far on the season. We're trying not to have it happen anymore. Moving on to this Maestro with Tigra. This video's in here so that my officers can see that it works. And they'll know how well it works. This is a rank 4 Maestro. Now we're boosting up. You don't want to boost on the rage node, obviously. You want to keep your damage down. Make sure that you're not going to hit damage caps for glancing. My Negasonic, in fact, is only rank 2. So, it was a smart call. And now we're boosting up. 30%ers. I always use 30% green boosts these days, especially as I'm trying to lock in on minimizing my own deaths, whether we've won or lost. And then I use my middle other rainbow boosts. I'm big on grays too, big on power backs. Loyalty's no issue. This is what loyalty is for. We use it for soloing war fights. So we're in the spot. We're ready to go. Taking a deep breath. Getting everything in order. Getting ready to go back in. Take on this Maestro. He's a big boy. He's going to be stun immune here. I want to get that power boost up so we can get to our damage loops as quickly as possible. The plan here is basically just to bait heavies and punish heavies. Do Tigra things. Naturally, he's not particularly nice with it up front, but you know, as long as you get that first one in and then he does okay, you're all right. Because it's really just trying to get as many ruptures as possible in your little time. You can see we're already here. I'm trying to bait a special. He's not throwing it. Figured let me toss my special 1. Try to get another special out of him just so I could phase it to get power, but that's it. Special 2, special 1. Tigra is done. Ah, she's so good. Okay, this is the fight at the end of Path 8. This is the old Node 42 with the one eye open and the power, efficiency, etc. I'm including this fight just so you can remember what Sim Supreme looks like, because there's going to be a few Sim Supreme wars in this video, but not a ton. I used Sim Supreme a lot the first 2/3 of the season, but I didn't show you many of those. So there we hit him with the one eye open. We don't care because we got 90% protection. And now we just knock him down before we throw our special 3, which we want to throw with 100 genetic potential, so we can maximize our power back. Of course, we still have the Mystic power backs on, all that stuff, so all the rest of my fights this war are Mystic. Now we're just trying to do the thing. Bait this special, it's perfect. and that lets us get a nice big special 2 off. I tried to time that to shut off the protection again, but I was just a second early. So we'll just use the special 3 for that and try to get back into our damage loop. He's very cooperative, and Sim Supreme's just gonna nuke with a 172k hit on the special 2. It's wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Okay, last fight of this war against Xk+9 is going to be this Tigra over on Brute Force 49 versus Kindred. It's a pretty common placement. I probably take this fight 4 times this season. This is I think the first one. But this is one of the cleanest. It is going to show up one more time in a very nice execution. He's nice and happy with that special 1, which is perfect. We've got him right where we want him to be. He's at the corner. We're at 2 bars of power. And now we just need him to keep throwing his special 1s as soon as I launch mine. It's perfect. 1 light. Get the heavy punish in. He's at low charges. Even when he roots me, he won't kick off any degen, and it wouldn't matter because Tigra gains power. And that man is down. That's a 30-second mini boss fight with Tigra. 35 seconds. And we did indeed get the dub. Took down Xk+9's first time we beat them. Shout out to our MVPs. Brass Knuckles, Anthem, Minnow. All planners, all leadership. Just crushing it, getting it done. Nicely done, gentlemen. All right, moving on to our next war. We've got 2-1-1 here, the new Avengers. And I told you there'd be more Sim Supreme. I'm trying to minimize it, but this is one of them. This is Serpent on node 25, and since it's a fairly common placement that people ask about, I figured we'd include it in here and let you guys see how it goes down. This is basically the same as any other Sim vs Serpent fight. The main difference here, of course, is you're going to get caught on the dash back. No, just kidding. That's the same as every other Serpent fight. Now, on this node, you can't parry. If you parry him, he'll go unblockable. Now, when I throw my special 2s, he's going to go unblockable anyway. So really, we're just trying to minimize the amount of times we're going to have him go unblockable. So I'm trying to get to my 100 genetic potential. It's going to trigger when his power gain would trigger and gets nullified. So boom, we drop our special 3. And now we're getting ready to go into the damage loop. And we really want him to cooperate. Again, he's going to be unblockable basically the rest of the fight. Shoot back up to my 2 bars. He doesn't throw a special. Boom. Throw that special 2. Boom. Cycle to another special 2. Big damage. Takes us right to the special 3. 100 genetic potential. We are in the cycle, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the cycle. It's going to take him down to his death immunity. And now we're just trying to be smart. Thankfully, he dashes in. We get the power steal. Good to go. We're just waiting it out. Get 1 more in. Serpent's toast. Minus that first hit on the dash back. About picture perfect. Can't ask for much more than that. All right. Now we got Fam at the end of Path 7. I was torn between including this or another Thanos versus Fam, but I figured this one was better. It's fine. Just a path fight. We're not too worried about it. Not messing with any other power backs or anything. I don't have any more Thanos fights this war. And now we just want to get our armor shatter up. That reduces his armor up ability accuracy. And it's going to pause our damage and increase it. So we're just trying to do fam stuff right here. Trying to just beat this guy down. Unfortunately, this is where it goes a little sideways. He clips me when I'm trying to bait this special. So now my panic triggered, my pause triggered without pausing. So now things are running down and I'm trying to get them paused, right? Trying to keep all my damage and stuff up the right way. You can see it triggers glancing even though it's not glancing. And unfortunately, he go ahead and gets my pause down, or he gets my armor shatter down. So another reason I left this in here was so you can see how it goes when things don't go perfect. Because again, oftentimes things don't go perfect in war. A lot of times we see perfect war fights and think that's how it's supposed to be, but it's really about how you recover and just seeing it through to the end, which Big Daddy Thanos is not concerned about a fan. Not at all. Okay, I think this is the last fight of this war. We've got this Rintrah here on 38. Means he's gonna have debuff immunity once I knock him down. Torch, of course, has a primarily passive damage source. I did have an earlier Torch fight, but I did not use my Flame on. And now we're just basically gonna heavy bait and counter this Rintrah and counter his specials and kind of melt him down. You know, this is 7-star Torch. We got decent sized boosts on. It's not gonna be too bad. See, it's just kind of getting ramped. We're letting it go. You know, his protection comes up. It's going to slow things down, but it's a chunky Rintrah. I'm pretty sure he's like 800k. And don't worry about messing with the special 2 because it doesn't matter. I can't stun him anyway. And just kind of letting him tap my block at times. All right, building my smolder charges up. This is going to add a little more smolder, so I figure I might as well toss it. We're just chipping through. 2/3 down. The damage is going to tick up a little bit more now. My smolder's continuing to go up. Saving my relic for later. And the hits are even pretty solid right now. And you can see since that special 3. Thankfully Rintrah there with the long specials fails me out a little bit on my expected heavy charge. Don't matter. That Rintrah is one well done burger. And we pull out another dub. This was actually in the top 10 at this point in time. So going into War 6, we're actually going to be ranked 6th in the world. Big shout out to the MVPs, Adamantium, my man, Minnow, and Intercept. Nicely done, brethren. And our reward for that is taking on New Nation, last season's war champs. I guess that means you know how this war is going to end, but this fight's in here as an example of talking with your officers. This is a big Prowler war, and initially I was assigned Warlock for this fight, but in looking at the rest of my fights and talking to my officers about what was coming, kind of my plans, I really wanted Wags on 2 of my fights this war, and we didn't have a way to get me one. So I said, okay, how about if I just Prowler this Sinister? It's going to be a little bit trickier, obviously, than Warlock, who would just absolutely shut this down. But I can get all my damage stuff set up, and I can take down this Prowler, or take down this Sinister with Prowler. And that's what we're gonna do. So we've been building up and ramping, now we're getting to our damage cycle. We wanted to get our Incinerate up, and you can see he's ticking. And when I see this go down, I'm feeling pretty good. I go, okay. I was justified in making this call. He misses us completely with the special 2 with the Falter. It's a beautiful thing. And now we basically need one more of those, as long as I can be smart about regens and stuff, which I'm gonna wind up not being super smart about. So the regen on this node's pretty obnoxious, and I let him get to 3. That was not intended, obviously. Now I'm just backing off. Gotta back off and let him, the regens go down. I don't want to mess with that, and I'll get back into my damage loop. So here we are. Unfortunately, he regens too much for us to do this in one cycle. You'll notice that Prowler does a lot of triggering the beginning of the regens, but because his specials are so far away, it's actually very nice. There I go ahead and just bait special 1. I don't really care. I know that it's just potions, right? I'm not worried about potions. This is, again, loyalty is no expense. But we do want to get out of this fight in a reasonable time frame. So we're gonna bait one more special 1. I'm gonna take a little more degen. Again, I know that that's gonna happen, but it's not a big deal because I'm now in my damage cycle, and this is gonna end this fight. Toss it off. You can see he's ticking. And that burst at the end of it. It's why we apply the incinerates, by the way, is for that burst. The burst takes him down. So now we're gonna move on to this arcade on node 10. And this fight is why I wanted a Wags. This one especially. There's one other one that I like it for, but this fight really made me want to have a Wags. Just gonna heal up. I leave some of this stuff in just so you can see, and I want to note, I'm gonna do a video on war approach and how I do things, but sometimes I leave these intermediate times on just so you can see my healing, my boosting, how often I go in and out. There's kind of some reason for why I do all these things. So, you know, the intentionality is a real thing. So now we're heading in on this arcade. I'm not going to apply the Incinerate here because it would just give him Masochism, which would make him unblockable when he gets that regen buff. But for right now, we're just going to slow roll our way up to Special 2. We go ahead and use that first Falter just for fun, really. Bait this special up at this max bars of power, 1.9. And now we're good. Now we're jamming. We kind of want to stay out of the immediate corner so he doesn't try to heavy us and then stun. But we hit our first SP2 cycle. It's maxed out, obviously, because that first one was good bars of power. Use our Falter. We can be a little more aggressive. And you see this arcade he's pretty much melting. I mean, it's not the fastest fight in the world because of how this works with Prowler and not applying the Incinerate, but my Prowler is also only rank 3, but he's a decent SIG. It's 160, I think, at this point in time. But you can see he's 2/3 down, and so we're just gonna go ahead and hit one more Special 2 damage cycle, and I believe that's gonna tick him down. Yeah, 1 minute fight, smooth and steady. That's why we wanted a Wags. Makes that much easier. And now I think this is again my final fight of the war. This is the other fight I really wanted a Wags for. This Sentinel over on 38, same node with Rintrah, where he gets the right back at it. He'll be debuff immune. So again, no point in applying the Incinerates, but Prowler is a great Sentinel counter, primarily because of how he interacts with power. You know, Sentinel kind of punishes you for his charges and doesn't lose as much power when he throws specials and stuff. And Prowler, of course, counters that because he'll just power drain you down to nothing unless you have some sort of mitigation, which Sentinel does not. So it's very beneficial to fight against those charges, but also when you get to Sentinel's little last push, when he has his armor ups, as long as you can bait one special just before or during that rotation, then you don't have to worry about any of the Special 3 shenanigans that will happen. There you see, we just phased the entire SP1. Prowler is really is underrated sometimes for the utility that he has with his Falter. You see we go through one SP2 cycle though, and he's halfway down. So again, the only thing that's left for us to really worry about in this fight is just making sure he's semi-cooperative when the time comes at the end. Go ahead and do that out of habit, but of course it doesn't matter. I can't do anything with it. Apply my Falter, throw the Special 2. Now you see that power lock, and it's up when his armors expire, so he gains no power. And at max, each of those armor ups give him 90% of a bar. So if he's at 0 when they start ticking, then he won't get to 3 bars of power, which is again the big risk in a fight like this, is you don't want to let this man get up to his 3 bars. But now he's through all the danger, and we just need to throw one more Special 2, and this Sentinel's going to be toast at, you know, a smooth fight. Not the fastest again, but very, very, very safe. But of course, New Nation being New Nation, what can you expect? They go ahead, they get the victory. GG's to them. Shout out to our MVPs, Grass, Intercept, and Adamantium. Guys are killing it. Good start to the season, as high as 6th. Yeah, we lose to number 1, but you know what happens to the best of us. How can we close the season? I guess you'll have to come back and see. Until then, peace.